Going? Welcome to today's live stream, and today we're going to be talking about string bending. Yes, guitar string bends, right? This is something that a lot of people have an awful lot of trouble with. You know, they have trouble keeping their guitar string bends in tune. They sound like they're playing out of tune. I hear this a lot from my students, people who come in for lessons. And that's a big complaint that I get constantly. Man, my string bending doesn't sound too good. So if you're a rock and a blues type of player like me, and you're into country and all that stuff as well, you know, string bending is very important. So what can we do, right, to get our string bends up to snuff so that we can string bend like the pros, right? Well, I'm going to show you how to develop this technique. So let's pick a key. What kind of key are we in today? I think we're in the key of B. So we're going to look at our minor pentatonic scale up here at the 7th fret, which would be, you know, B, the key of B, right? So we're looking at our minor pentatonic scale, right? Up here at the 7th fret. So we're going to focus on working on our string bending in the hot spots, really, of where we would do a lot of things with string bending in this particular scale shape, right? Which would be here on the G string and here on the B string. Okay, so let's get down to it, man. All right, I'm going to get down to the fretboard where good things happen. And I'm going to show you what you can do to get your string bends rocking and rolling really, really quickly, okay? Now, we're going to look at how to control the string bend, okay? Because that's really the most important thing when you're bending a string, is being able to control the bend. Because if you can't control the string bend, it's going to sound really bad. And that's what we don't want. And that's the big complaint generally that you get, right, that I hear with people with their string bending, is it doesn't sound good. It sounds like I'm out of tune and I don't know what's going wrong. Well, what's going wrong is just simply maybe just not understanding how to do it. Okay, so let's alleviate that confusion right now. Now check it out. Biggest hotspot for a G, for this bend on the G string in this scale is going to be here. If we're in the key of B, we're looking here at the 9th fret of our G string, right? And we're going to be looking at whole and half step bending, right? So whether we're, and this is a target, you know, target note, you know, hitting a target and being able to hit that target, okay? That's the trick. That's the ticket to this. So how do we develop that? Right? Well, first off, we need to be able to identify our pitch, right? Like if we're here at this note, which is our 9th fret of the G string, a half step above that's going to be 1 fret above it. So that note right there would be a half step above this note. So that would be one type of a bend we could do, would be a half step bend. And now I'm going to show you how to do your bends with 2 fingers in particular. 2nd finger and the 3rd finger, okay? So these 2 fingers in particular, we're going to be concentrating on these. Now, when you bend a string, you want to use more than 1 finger. You want to use a couple of fingers, either 2 or 3 of them at the same time, okay? And they're all functioning like the same finger, really. But it helps give you a lot of control and extra added strength to control the bend. That's the most important thing, right? Control the bend. So if we're looking at bending this note to this note, okay, go ahead and put your 3rd finger there at that 9th fret of your G string. Put all the other 2 fingers in back of your 3rd finger. Just put them right in back of it and use them together to bend up and hit your target note, right? So what you do is you fret the note, that's our target, that's the half step we're going for. Put all 3 of these fingers down. Remember, we're bending though predominantly this 3rd finger. We have the other 2 in back of it, right? Hear the pitch. When you hit the pitch on the bend, hold it for a second. Just like that. And what's happening is now you're developing your fingers, right? And your ear to hit your target and hold it. Okay, so that's one exercise. Now the next one's going to be, right, a whole step. So a whole step bend is going to be 2 frets in front of the note. Okay? Go 2 frets in front of that 9th fret G string note and you hit this. Whole step above it, 2 frets higher, right? And that's the target. So you listen, use your ear, right? Hear it. Okay, go back down to the 9th fret now in this case, and then bend up to that target note and hold it once you hit it, right? Again, use all 3 fingers as one finger. It's like they're working like one big finger. Okay? Then you hit your target note and you hold it. Okay? Okay? Cool. So we have a half step and a whole step bend. Okay? Now, let's look at the same notes that are going to be in the hot spot on the B string, right? And those are going to be 1 fret higher because if you look at your pentatonic scale, right, the one that we all know, pretty much first thing we learn usually is this scale. Well, the note that we're going to want to be bending is this note on the B string at the 10th fret. And it's the same thing. We have a half step bend, which would be 1 fret in front of that note. So, you know, if we're at the 10th fret, just go to the 11th fret on that B string, hit that note, and do the same thing. Use these 3 fingers, okay? We're technically bending with this 3rd finger, but we're using all 3 fingers as one big finger to help us control the bend and hit our target note, okay? So, okay, there's our target, a half step above, right? Okay, get your fingers placed in position and bend that note up to your target note and hold it for a second. Right? Do this a few times. And then practice the whole step bend. So we're at the 10th fret, on the B string, go up to the 12th fret, hit that note, hear it, right? Go back to the 10th fret and then bend up to that whole step target. And hold it for a second, right? And what we find, right, is now we're controlling the bend. Okay? So do this exercise with the 3rd finger and then do it with the 2nd finger. Go back down over to the G string. Don't go back to where that 2nd note on that string would be for your pentatonic shape, right? Here at the 9th fret, and then do the 2 exercises again. Do a half step. Now just use your 1st and 2nd finger are working together now, right? Your 1st finger is helping the 2nd finger to bend and control the note and control the bend, right? Hit your target a half step above, get in position here at the 9th fret, and basically just rinse and repeat, do the same thing. Do the half step bend, hold that note when you hit it, hold that target, and then cut it off. And I'm just using my palm to cut it back here. So do it a few times. Okay, and then you do the whole step. Go 2 frets in front, you know, from this 9th fret up here to the 11th fret, right? There's our whole step target at the 11th fret of the G string. Go back to the 9th fret and bend up to the target and hold it once you hit it. Just like that. Cool. Right? And then go up to the B string. Right? Up here to the 10th fret on that B string, which would be the 2nd note on that string for this minor pentatonic shape that we're using for these half and whole step bends. Do the same thing, okay? We're at the 10th fret of the B string, go up to the half step above it, the 11th fret. Hear that note, go back to the 10th fret of the B string, and then bend up to it using the first and second fingers together as one big finger, right? Control the bend. Hit that half step and hold it. And then do the whole step bend. Go up to the 12th fret and go back down here to the 10th. Bend up to that whole step and hold it and cut it off. Hold it for a second and cut it off. Make sure you hold your target note once you get there. Okay? Now these two bends are like the bread and butter bends you're going to be using, half and whole step bends in this scale for very large amount of guitar licks and things that we hear. Okay, heard them used 1,001 times, or if not more, but these are bread and butter bends that you need to get down, right? Now, that's the first part of the exercise. Now, there's a bonus, right? Reverse bending. You want to be able to control the bend. Now, this is important, okay? You want to be able to control the bend in both directions. Okay, you want to be able to bend upwards, but you also want to be able to bend down. Okay, and that's one that eludes a lot of people, and they have trouble with that one too. But there's a simple way to work on that. Right now, I showed you how to do the exercise, so we're going to stay in the same spot for these exercises. We're here in the key of B. Okay, and what we do now is we go upward bend and then reverse back down. Right. So here's the next part of this exercise. You do it with your third and your second fingers, okay? Go to your, B string here, your G string, I should say, 9th fret of the B string, of the G string, and you do a half step bend, hit it, and then bend back down. Do it both ways. Go up, down, and do that for the half step and the whole step. Right? And do that on both the G string and the B string. Half step and whole step bends right here on the B string at the 10th fret. Do the half step bend, right? And then bend back down to where you were, controlling it in both directions, okay? Then do your whole step bend, right? Hit your whole step, hear your target, and then go for it, right? And if you want to get really, really tricky with this and really kind of advanced really with this exercise, you do each of the intervals and you hold each one as you're going through the motions of moving it up and down like this. G string, right? Do that, do it in both directions. Then go to the B string, do the same thing, half and whole step. Hold each one as you're moving up and then hold each one as you're coming back down on the reverse bend, right? Okay, so that's it for this live stream lesson about getting a grip on your bending technique, okay? Your guitar string bending technique. There's really no way around it if you play rock, you play blues, you're into country, right? You need to know how to do this. So this is how you get there to getting your string bends to be controlled and be in tune, and you'll start string bending just like the pros in no time if you do this very simple exercise, okay? So thank you for being here today. I hope you get lots of mileage and goodness out of this. And if you practice this every day in a very short period of time, just 5 minutes with this, you will see tremendous, massive improvements, and your string bends are going to sound fantastic, okay? So, if you are looking for instruction that will take you further than any of these YouTube lessons are able to take you, you can't answer personal questions on a YouTube video lesson. You can't get private one-on-one custom instruction that's going to help you on a YouTube lesson, but you can with private lessons with me. So if you're interested in one-on-one instruction that focuses on where you would like to go with your guitar playing, go ahead and I've a link in the description where you can contact me if you're interested in live one-on-one online lessons. Of course, other announcements I have. Hey, look, man, I have music out there on Bandcamp and on Spotify. Okay, original music by yours truly over here. It's cool stuff. If you haven't checked it out, you should. And look, streaming my music on Spotify, or if you feel so inclined, purchasing a track on my Bandcamp, this goes a long way in helping me to continue bringing awesome video and lesson content out here on the tube for everybody to enjoy and get something useful out of this, okay? Which is why I do this. Okay, thank you for being here today. If you like my channel and you dig what I'm doing, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, because I'm doing lots of live streams now. So I'm out here quite often with tidbits of awesomeness for everybody to become a better guitar player. And until next time, enjoy playing your guitar. Peace.